Welcome back to HammerDroids.net. Going to take another look at Launcher Pro today. I remember we reviewed it originally probably a couple of months ago when it was quite new on the marketplace, and I think it has gone through quite a bit of change, so it's worth another look at. There are, I would say, two main players in the home screen front at the moment on Android. You've got Launcher Pro, this one, and you've got ADW Launcher. Both are very good, both have their pros and their cons. I tend to prefer Launcher Pro. And one of the main reasons is the dock bar along the bottom here. So I have almost all the stuff that I used the most initially, or I should have quick access to on my first one. If I scroll it left, look, I've got my work-based. Come back to the middle. To the right, I've got my social-based. Emails, Tapatalk, Twitter, Foursquare. It does rotate around, so there's work and there's my sort of front. It's quite easy to change them. You just hold down, change shortcut, change icon, swipe gesture action. Oh, I've not had that one before. Swipe gesture action. We can do a lot of different stuff there. I'm coming back out. So yeah, you can set them up nice and easy. You can put your app launcher, any one or all of them. So at the moment it's in the middle. Now I can't remember if we had it on before when I did the original, but we've got the 3D view now. So if you see at the top there, like the Nexus One had, kind of scrolls off into the distance, and the same at the bottom there, look, which is really cute looking. The Nexus One had this originally, and I think he's fine-tuned this a little bit. At one point the actual front facing I think was a bit smaller maybe, and now it's a bit bigger. It's better at that size. We also have touch to zoom, so I can see all of my screens and go to obviously whichever one I want. I think the home, there we go, the home button does that as well. So I mean that's the main thing. It's nice and quick. Springs about the place as well, as you can see. Well, I say it's nice and quick. The only slowdown is probably from my Galaxy S. Maybe I should have used the Nexus One to show you. Right, so now, as well as settings, we have preferences along the bottom there. So I'm going to go to preferences. This is for Launcher Pro. We get to hide apps from the launcher tray, the 3D thing I just showed you. So if there's some that maybe you can't actually uninstall them, but you just never use them. So don't know, none of them strike me right now that I never use. So there we go. Yeah, so one's just a key for the for something. Other ones are widgets. Well, I don't really need a button in there. So yeah, you get to hide them from the app drawer. Keep in memory, enable scrollable widgets. That's another big one. Let me come back out and show you that actually. So on Sense UI they had this for a while, and everyone missed not having the Sense UI widgets work on the regular stock Android. Now Launcher Pro has been able to, well, and ADW Launcher I believe is the same thing, has given you the option of using scrollable widgets. So I can now scroll up and down my agenda, for example. I'm waiting hopefully for the grid calendar to be able to do the same thing. At the moment it can't. But anyway, so scrollable widgets, quite a big addition. Home screen sense, so we can have up to 7 home screens, or as few as 1 if you wanted, just the one. Set what your default was. Enable trackball scrolling. Obviously I've not got a trackball, so I'm not doing that. Dock setting, number of docks, so I've got 3 as you saw. You can have just 1 or the 2. Stick with my 3. Don't restart it. Enable loop scrolling, so you can turn off the fact that it just goes round and round if you want. If you have the stock phone or SMS or Gmail, you can enable it showing you an icon of how many misses or messages or whatever. So you move to behaviour settings. Enable auto rotation. I always have that off. I just don't. When my home screen, I don't really want to use my phone in landscape. So obviously it does it there, but if let me show you quickly. So if I come back out to the main screen, I go sideways, nothing's going to happen. If I go back in, behaviour, or enable auto rotation and come back out, does it need to restart? I assume not. There we go. It does it, does quite a nice job of it. I like the. Oh, that's how it does. You can still scroll between your most used apps there. Let's have a look how we look. See, that looks a little bit odd. That looks a little bit odd, but I guess because they're scrollable. Are they scrollable? Yep, so it's still usable. It's gone a little bit laggy, but it's basically figured out. That's quite a full screen. It's figured out how they all should look. It's quite clever. That looks a little bit odd. But generally, I don't like to bother with that, to be honest. Right, let's go back in. Appearance settings. So the dot background I've got on like the Freo looking, but the wide version. You can have Freo normal. You can have glass. Let's show you glass. So it's like a glass shelf, which is quite cool. So we'll leave it on that for the moment. It's kind of cool looking. You can hide the notification bar if you didn't want it. Home button on app drawer, so you can have or not have the home button. Highlight color, so there's highlight style. Let's go with the glow. Yeah, there's quite a lot of advanced settings even. So 5 icon rows in the home screen. That's quite new. Elastic scrolling, so it bounces about the place. High quality scrolling, but that will reduce the performance. You get to set scrolling speeds. So you get as 3D drawer as an option. You get to change how many apps are in the drawer, which is kind of cool as well. With it being portrait or landscape, you get to set the speed that these things come out. All in all, it's a very cool app. Let me get you the QR code. So this one's free. There is a Pro version which gives you a few extra widgets and things. But this is Launcher Pro, highly recommended by Hemodroids.net.